Welcome back to Never Don't Ask with me, John Martin, and for another station review. We're here in the gently nondescript New Southgate station that sits astride the border of the London boroughs of Barnet and Enfield. The station sits in a cutting on the East Coast Main Line on the A109 Station Road, nearest junction with the A1003 Free and Barnet Road. And just south of the station, the line crosses over the A406 North Circular Road. Still wondering why I'm saying O when it's a number, so it should be 0, but there we go. Too much James Bond. Although the station sits in New Southgate, it is very close to Coney Hatch and Free and Barnet. To the west, North Finchley sits to the northwest, with Southgate to the northeast, and Arnott's Grove to the east, and Muswell Hill to the south and southwest. The station itself has two entrances. The one on the Barnet side is found down a rather strange little gravel footpath from Free and Barnet Road, and the footpath also links to the Free and Bridge retail park. On the Enfield side, there is a more conventional entrance to the station from Station Road. Railwise, the New Southgate sits on the East Coast Main Line, just north of the junction where the Hertford Loop diverts towards Palmer's Green. The station opened in 1850 and was opened by the Great Northern Railway, just over 4 years after the Act of Parliament authorising the whole line was passed. Just take note of that when you think how long train lines take to build these days. Note that this was the original Great Northern Railway, not the current Great Northern, who managed the station. Opening as Coney Hatch and Southgate, the Justices of Middlesex wanted the station open to service the huge Second Middlesex County Asylum, which later became known as Friern Hospital. This building still exists, sitting close to the tracks, and since the 1990s has been luxury apartments. Two of the more famous residents in its post-hospital life were the footballer Ashley Cole and the Girls Aloud singer Cheryl Len Tweedy. Their subsequent romance and made many tabloid headlines and managed to overshadow the rumours about his sexuality and her being found guilty for assaulting a black member of staff at a nightclub. The station has seen its fair share of name changes over the years. Less than 5 years after opening, on February 1855, it changed to Southgate and Coney Hatch. The new name lasted 21 and a half years before being changed to New Southgate and Coney Hatch in October 1876. That name didn't last, as 6.5 years later it was changed to New Southgate 4 Coney Hatch in March 1883. In 1923, the Great Northern was merged with a whole bunch more companies to become the London and North Eastern Railway. A new company name needs a new station name. So in May 1923, the station became New Southgate and Free and Barnet. And in 1971, we got our last name change to plain New Southgate. The 1970s also saw the original ticket office being burnt down, something that seems to be quite common on this stretch of line. Marked for services, 5 out of 10. There are 4 tracks at this point on the East Coast Main Line, and New Southgate has 2 island platforms, joined by an overbridge that also links the platform to the pair of entrances. Fast services use the inner pair of tracks, while slower services use the outer tracks. This allows the owners to fence off the inner faces of the platforms. Saying that, some of the services on the slower tracks still skip this station. All platforms are 172 metres long. Normal off-peak services from the station consist of half-hourly trains between Moorgate and Welwyn Garden City, and vice versa. At peak times, these trains become every 15 minutes, and there are also extra trains that run via Thameslink to Sevenoaks. The usage of New Southgate hasn't reached back to the height of its pre-COVID levels, and this being a commuter station, one would expect that. The 2023-24 figures show that this station has 808,874 passengers in that year, and with 685 trains per week on average. This gives us about 22.71 passengers per train. The most popular destination for travellers from New Southgate is Finsbury Park, where I'm assuming they will change to the Tube. Marks for onward travel, 3.5 out of 3.5 out of 5. This is a London suburban station on 2A roads, so it obviously has some good transport links. Along Enfield and Barnet Road, there is the 221 bus route between Edgware and Turnpike Lane, the 382 from Mill Hill East to Southgate, and the Superloop SL1 express service from North Finchley to Walthamstow. Along Station Road, there is the 232, which runs from Mitchell Way, just over the River Brent from Wembley, to Turnpike Lane. New Southgate is a shortish walk from Arnscroll Tube Station on the Piccadilly line. However, since Finsbury Park is a direct change, and this isn't counted as an out-of-station interchange, it's not the greatest change. Also, Alexandra Palace, next south, is closer to Wood Green. Marks for accessibility, 2 out of 10. Let's get the positives out of the way first. The station is staffed on weekday mornings, and there's a PA system and dot matrix displays. However, that's where the good news ends. The Barnet entrance is down a gravel path, which, while non-accessible for wheelchairs, isn't a huge hindrance because there is no step-free access from the overbridge to the platforms. As a result, there are no ramps in the station for easy boarding of trains, and it's also worth mentioning the platforms aren't exactly even anyway. Mark for station facilities, 3 out of 10. This is a rather basic station. Has the minimum you'd expect. There's a ticket office, but only at the eastern ticket machine, but only at the eastern entrance. At the other entrance, there is limited cycle parking. Coming downstairs onto the platform, you're under a canopy, and there is further covered seating area. But that about wraps it up. Some of the other stations on this line have refreshments, this doesn't. Marks for care and character, 5 out of 20. Walking to the station from the Barnet side is a confusing experience. As you know, there is a station there, it's just not well signed, with a random wall and arch in it. It's got some uniqueness to it, but otherwise there is little about the station that's memorable. The canopies are a nice touch, the station seems fairly clean, although it seemed an afterthought. Passengers are confined to half a platform by the fences, which seems a bit of a waste. Surely the fences could go another couple of metres further out, and still allow people to be safe from the turbulence from the oncoming trains. One helpful thing about the fences is that they give a nice solid perch for the camera. As mentioned before, the platform surfaces themselves are uneven, patchy, and do have some holes in them. There used to be a siding here on the Enfield side, and it still, I think, has room for it. On the Barnet side, there used to be some tracks to the hospital, but these have long gone. It's notable there isn't a friends group or an outside party who would want to spruce the station up with flowers or other decorations. The station doesn't feel isolated compared to some, but it's still not a great one for travelling at night. Marks for nearby things, 5 out of 10. There's a row of shops opposite the station on Enfield and Barnet Road, and more shops heading east towards Arnscroll Station. Heading the other way is a retail park. Past the retail park is a Free Bridge open space. Overall, there's the normal range of services you'd expect from a suburb, but it's hardly near a regional centre, so it's little here you get a train to see. Overall, New Southgate is a functional station that has limited accessibility and hasn't been shown the love that it needs. It has quirks, notably the entrance on the Barnet side, but it doesn't have facilities that are expected of a 21st century station. It gets 23.5 marks, leading to an overall percentage of 36. Please don't hesitate to like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I will see you on the next one for probably another station review.